busting my balls, Billy, okay?
I can already tell that I don't like you.
Fuck you, bust on my ball.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
It might be your first ball job.
Yeah, of course.
How long did it take for the guy to come?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Busting Balls. I'm your host, Eric Pennell. What's going on, guys? Thank you for listening to this podcast. I appreciate it. I know there's a lot of things you can listen to. I do see the numbers going up, so thank you guys for listening. And if you do like the podcast, please share it. That'd help me out a bunch. If not, I totally understand. I just was watching Hard Knocks on HBO a little bit right there. And it's so funny how they try to sell you like storylines on Hard Knocks that and if you just watch a little bit of football, know like a little bit what you're talking about, like they're full of shit. Like they were just talking about Tyrod Taylor and how good he is and stuff, and how great Tyrod Taylor looks in practice. And Tyrod Taylor, look, man, he's probably gonna be a great coach someday. He's made a lot of money in the NFL. He's had some starts. He's had a lot of backup jobs. But this guy, they talk like he's a killer, and he ain't a killer, okay? Who has seen Tyrod Taylor, and this dude ain't no killer, But they always try to sell him like, this guy's going to be our guy this year. No, he's not, okay? I've seen him play for the Browns a couple years ago, and I think you and I got a better arm than he's got. I'm serious. This guy does not have an arm, and that's one thing you need when you're a quarterback is, an arm. I'm not saying you got to be Marino. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be freaking throwing it 60 yards on the roll, but you can't be throwing these freaking ducks out there to people, But anyways, it's exciting. It's exciting to, have football back, I guess. Hopefully they play. I don't know if they're going to shut it down with Corona. I don't know how many people's going to be watching it. I guess they're doing some kind of end zone fight racism thing in the end zone. And again, nobody's not going to watch it because they're racist. I mean, I think that's some narrative that they're going to pull where people go, oh, football's down and NBA's down because a racist didn't want to watch it. It's like, I'm so racist out. Aren't you racist out? I mean, how many racists do we have in 2020? And I always talk about these on podcasts, but it's like, really? In 2020, like, really? I mean, we have that many racists? Everybody after, that's age 45 and under grew up on hip hop, and they grew up on sports. Who didn't grow up on Ice Cube and NWA and Tupac and Biggie Smalls and every other rap group that came after them? And who has not been wearing jerseys of every NFL player of a person of color for the last, forever? Who doesn't? Who's not? Who's not? And to say that this isn't a racist America. I mean, I get it. Are there racists? Of course. There's ignorant idiots. But I mean, is majority of people racist? Come on, man. Come on. And then they went to systemic. That's where where they can't find enough racists, they just go, no, the system's set up to be racist. And it's like, okay, I gotta leave. I got shit to do. I gotta go to work and pay bills and hang out with my family and stuff. I don't got time for these fucking whatevers, dude. I guess the NBA, their viewership is down 40%, and again, people could say, oh, it's because Corona, people ain't in the mood. You could come up with a bunch of excuses, but I bet the number one excuse why people aren't watching the NBA is because they went Black Lives Matter on the NBA, big time. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows that. And that divides people instantly. When I was growing up, I remember my grandmother always told me never talk politics or religion, ever in public like that. And we've somehow forgot that. That used to be like common sense where you don't talk politics. And I'm talking politics on a podcast, but if you don't talk it now, when you're on a podcast or social media, it's somebody's got to challenge like these dumb ideas. Because I mean, look, there's a lot of good ideas on the internet, but somebody's got to challenge the dumb ideas. And sometimes it's funny how like challenging ideas is not even a popular thing. Coming out, it's so funny how they want everybody just to stay in line and not say a damn word. And don't get out of line. Don't get out of line, okay? Do as you're told is kind of like what it feels like. And when anybody's in like a line and they see something and they kind of step a step and a half to the right or left, and then they yell out, they go, hey, well, I don't know. What about this? I don't know if I'm really digging this, but what about this? You ever hear this view on that idea that we're doing? And then they hear that, and then they just scratch your face off. That's all they do. That's all it is. They want to scratch your freaking face off, and that's all they want to know. They just want you to get in line. That's it. Stay in line and don't get out. Until somebody steps up. And then they go, I ain't getting in line no more. And they don't like that. They don't like a person not getting in line. They like you to stay in line and shut up. I mean, clearly. Because challenging ideas on the internet, dude, first of all, they go right to racist. Once you challenge something on the internet, they go clearly straight to racist, where they go, oh, you're a racist. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm a racist. What are you talking about? Why is that always the move they go to? And then it's like, oh, you're a homophobe. It's like, what are you talking about? Why are you doing all this character bashing, you freaking losers? Anyways, it's nice. It is nice to see NFL kind of back. It's I got a fantasy draft tomorrow night. I did a fantasy draft on Saturday. I went rookies hard style. Not to talk fantasy too long because I know a lot of people listening to this might not be fantasy people, but I went hard on those rookies this year. You know what I'm saying? Those Jonathan Taylors, those Dobbin running back. You know what I'm saying? I went hard on the wide receivers a little bit early before everybody else started, because I feel like some of these rookies, people go, I'll just get those in the later rounds. Not me. I'm getting them into the mid to late rounds. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I can, I'm jumping on these Judys and these CeeDee Lambs and these Ruggs and stuff like that. I jump on those guys early. Everybody knows about the running backs, and I know they know about those wide receivers. But look, man, with fantasy, you're betting on players regardless. So I'll bet on some rookies that were killers in college, and I'll jump out a little earlier on them. Not too early. I mean, obviously, you want to get the killers in the lower rounds. But I am excited about NFL this year, and I hope they don't just go too much social justice warrior on it, because it's going to turn people off, man. It's the think that people are preaching to their fans about racism. It's like, who are you talking to? These are the people that are going to watch, majority of like successful black athletes play, and they're also, a lot of white people going to these games and watching these games. They're going to games where they're paying freaking $40 parking. They're spending money at the bars before they go to the game, so they're bringing money into that community. They're spending money at the ticket gate. They're coming in with jerseys of people of color on their back, and they're cheering for them every time they do well. And the NFL's going to preach to their fans about racism. It's like, who are you talking to? Who are you really talking to? Because all these like 45 to 60,000 people that are normally at these games when Corona's not going on, I mean, you're talking to them because they're showing up cheering on fucking black people. Who is that? And all the people at home watching it, drinking Budweisers and Miller Lights and freaking smoking a little weed with their buddies. Are you talking to them? Because I'm sure they got the same vibes of like they're cheering on people of color playing football in basketball. So why are they doing this? Why are they jamming it down everybody's throat? It's turning people off, and it's go woke and go broke type money. I mean, clearly, and I know people go, well, we're just going to go broke for it then. This is a message that has to go out. Who are you? You're preaching to the choir, bud. Who does it benefit to be racist in 2020? Like, seriously, like who is it benefiting? No, it doesn't benefit nobody. And I know people go, oh, well, it's benefiting Donald Trump. It's like, man, I can't talk to you. If you're the type of person who you think racism's benefiting Donald Trump type talk, it's like, how old are you? And once you're a certain age and then we go back and forth maybe once, maybe twice, I got to keep it moving, dude. I got shit to do. I got a podcast to do in my basement, Come on now. I tell you, I just got into a conversation with my buddy, and he was talking about it's finally jumped on his radar how there's like kids that are turning trans at like 6 years old and 7 years old, and dude, Owen Benjamin got into years ago, probably 5 years ago or 4 years ago. It seems like it's been forever ago, but he lost his manager. He lost a lot of money because he spoke up against like a 3-year-old that wanted to be, to transition to trans. And that it just blows my mind that even if you speak up against trans kids after like a certain age, look, if you're a certain age and you want to be a trans kid, hey, it's your life. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. But am I going to make a comment about it? I'm going to make a comment about it. This is America. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And so can you. I can make comments on stuff like that. But when you're trying to transition a 3-year-old into the trans world, I don't think that's a very smart idea. And I don't know why Owen Benjamin got so much shit for that. I mean, he threw his career away for that, but he said also that was a hill that he would die on. You know, I mean, to try to transition and give pills, if they're doing that, maybe I hope that was something that was not true. But to think that you're already transitioning a 3-year-old into the trans world, dude, you wouldn't let a 3-year-old play with a freaking circular saw, would you? Right? Would you let them if they go, hey, I want to play with a circular saw. I'm 3. You would go, okay, let me go plug it in for you. Who would do that? Nobody would do that. And I'm not equaling trans to circular saws, but you see what I'm saying? It's very dangerous. And you wouldn't want to have a 3-year-old messing with a circular saw. It just doesn't. You're the adults. You got to make the decision. Like, yeah, no, just sit back, kid. We'll revisit this once I feel safe with your age and I can trust you. You know. But again, you can't challenge ideas like that. Otherwise, you're a homophobe or a transphobe, and that's how it is, man. You know. But that's fine. Whatever. You know, it's your family. You know, it's your shit. You got to eat Thanksgiving dinner with them. That's your life. I don't give a shit. I have been, trying to put my eyes a little bit more on the election. I never thought, like, I'm a stand-up comedian. I never thought I'd ever talk this much politics in my life. I guess that's what happens when it's the world that's brought to us, and also, I guess, age, the older you get. But, I just wonder. You know, did anybody see the Democratic Party going this way? Did anybody ever see Democrats going that way, where they're basically socialist and like communist and Marxist and I didn't see that coming, man. I didn't see that coming. You know, I guess I'm wet behind the ears and naive to it, to a point. But I just don't. Where did the Democrats go that actually are in the middle there? And where did the Democrats go that are like the good? Look, man, I get it. There's probably good people that want to be a socialist. There's good people that are communists. I get that. But I just don't like the ideas that come along with that. And then the history of that, but where are the good Democrats that were right in the middle? Where are the good Democrats that actually like police? Where are the good Democrats that actually thought America was like a great country? I just want to know where they're at, man, and they need to speak up. I was thinking about that. Like, I'm an Ohio State fan, and I hope people don't shut off at this point. Look, I was born and raised, in Ohio, and everybody in Ohio, for the most part, unless you're a douchebag, becomes an Ohio State fan, or some, they hate their mom and dad, and they become a Michigan fan, and or Cincinnati, like a Wildcat or something like that, or whatever the hell they're called. And but most are like, they're Ohio State fans. And when Michigan football was shitty, which is still kind of shitty, and but when Michigan football was really shitty with Rich Rod and stuff, as an Ohio State fan, I wanted Michigan football program to be better, so Ohio State and Michigan can have that battle again. Just a whole battle of like, look, man, we never know how this is going to go down. I almost feel like that as a conservative and somebody in the middle. I almost feel like that with Democrats, where it's like, dude, get your party together so it can get back to good old fashioned. Like let's put some good people up there and some good thoughts out there. But dude, going all this socialist way and everything's going to be free, which it's not free. It's like I always say, you're going to take 60, 70% of my money and then you're going to say it's free. That ain't free. Stop selling it that way. Like I've always said, like it's like going to a steakhouse and you buy a steak, and then when they bring it to the table, they go, here's your free steak. It's like, this ain't free steak. I just bought this shit. What are you doing? But dude, there has to be Democrats out there that don't like tearing down statues. There has to be Democrats out there that actually love the police and support the police and don't believe that America has always been racist and it's never been a great country. What a drip. If that's how people think, what a drip. Like I've said before, who wants to hang out with that dude that's always talking like that? Like, America's never been great. It's a racist this, 1619, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you're a fucking drip, and I bet money you got daddy or mommy issues. It's it. But what's crazy is when you see older people that got daddy and mommy issues and they're still saying that shit. And I'm like, dude, you're 48 and you're still talking like that? This is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe that, man. I was at the gun store the other day and I seen a guy buying, no shit, he was buying a Tommy gun. So it's basically looks like one of those old gangster guns. And it was new though. It was like a new Tommy gun. And on the barrel, it had engraved in it, like laser engraved or whatever. I don't know the words for that, but it said "Make America Great," and they had Trump all over it and shit. And I go, God damn, they're buying Trump guns. Like what a motherfucker! Like Trump has fucking fans, like that many fans where they're buying Trump guns with his name on it. I just don't see fucking, people buying Biden guns. Like you don't see fucking Biden guns out there. And again, it was just something I seen the other day where I go, God damn. Man, I was at the gun store the other day just looking at guns, salivating, like, I want to get that, I want to get that. Fucking guns are cool, man. And I sound like an idiot, but they are fucking cool. Anyways. Man, that Twitter war the other night with Cardi B and Candace Owens, goddamn, that was pretty good, That's way better than some TV and shit. And then you see both of them jump on, like, social media, like Candace Owens jumped on Instagram and she did probably 8-9 minute video. Dude, first of all, obviously Cardi B is very successful. Okay, she's got the number one. I mean, she obviously knows how to be successful at music. She sounds like a fucking idiot when she talks, but I get it, it's shtick. As a comedian, I understand that. She's playing a fucking character. I'm sure if she's hanging out, on the late night with her people, she probably doesn't put it on as thick. Maybe she does. Maybe I'm sure a lot of her is that. But I know entertainment. So I'm sure she's putting on thick and I'm sure she's very intelligent. But dude, to try to go to war with Candace Owens on politics, you're out. She's gonna take you out to the deep waters and chew on you. But it was very interesting. It's very funny, man, and it's juicy stuff. First of all, Candace Owens is. It's funny how like people on the left, how they always talk like they want like people of color that are smart, like a smart black woman or a person of color woman. There ain't nothing better than that. Unless you're not talking their fucking rhetoric, you're not on their talking points. Then you're like, they'll call you every name in the book, all the racist stuff, all the ones doing coonery and, it's disgusting. And, house Negro, all that stuff, brain white supremacists. Candace Owens, an African-American woman, has actually been called white supremacist, which you just sound stupid once you say that. I got to tap out and go get some sushi and get the fuck away from you. And but man, Candace Owens, dude, I was thinking, how are you like it's got to be hard to be married to Candace Owens. You're never gonna win a fight. Like her poor husband, I mean, she's just doing jujitsu on you. She's such a good debater in that field. I'm sure, like anybody, if you're out of your depth on topics, of course you're not gonna look as skilled. But damn. She fucking dragged Cardi B the other night on Twitter and then on Instagram, just spit back at her and stuff. And I get it. Cardi B, I get it. She interviewed Joe Biden and she wants to use her platform to kind of persuade people and voters and kind of show them and stuff. And I'm sure she doesn't have to do that if she didn't want to do that. But man, I tell you what, I just, Joe Biden does, I don't know who that guy gets excited. Like, who does Joe Biden, I mean, why are they, and I know Democrats and lefties are, they're trying to, you're faking it till you make it. But with him, who is that guy getting excited? Like, really? Seriously, is anybody like, yeah, Joe Biden? I tell you what, I drive all around Chicago, and I'm not lying, I've probably seen 2 or 3 Biden signs, no lie, in the yards. Probably 2 or 3 Biden signs. I've probably seen 2 Biden bumper stickers, and that's about it. And I never see it. So it's not like, and I remember the years with, and again, I'm in Chicago, so I remember the years with like Obama, and you couldn't go nowhere. You couldn't go nowhere without seeing Obama, and obviously Chicago's a Democrat town, and Obama's a Chicago guy, and he's very exciting and stuff at the time. And but dude, I don't really see a lot of Biden. I really think they're faking the funk on you. I really think that they're acting like this is their guy because they're just trying to trying to fool people with like, yeah, this is our guy. I don't think he's their guy. I really don't, man. I don't know who gets excited. I don't know why the Democrats didn't run Michelle Obama. The only reason I'm thinking they didn't run Michelle Obama is because I just thought maybe they didn't want her to possibly take a loss to Trump, and it's just not a good look. Because once you get Trump out of the way, I see Michelle Obama possibly after if Trump gets reelected or even, well, unless Biden gets in there. But if Biden does not get in there and Trump gets in there, I see Michelle Obama probably being our next president. I mean, I know that sounds crazy. I know people go, no, they're not going to vote for her. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you could persuade a lot of people to vote for her. You know, I don't know. It's possible. But anyways, guys, if you got to do fantasy football, get your game up. Go for those rookies. Greg Zuerlein is down there in Dallas. I think that's a pretty good, pretty good kicker for fantasy this year. That guy's got a long leg, and now he's in that stadium. I tell you what, Greg the Leg's going to, if he stays healthy, going to put up the points. And go for those rookies, man. Jonathan Taylor, Dobbins, CeeDee Lamb. Go for them early. Go for freaking, Pittman's out there. Maybe the wide receiver Pittman might be good. CeeDee Lamb, Ruggs, Judy. I mean, those guys were killers in college, so I don't understand how they don't translate this year. And hopefully Corona doesn't slow it down, and hopefully they don't get too freaking social justice on there. Otherwise, the number's going to be hurt, man. The one thing I was thinking about with fantasy football this year, you don't even need to watch. Because, dude, every year with fantasy, honestly, with my life is so busy, I probably watch 3 full games of NFL every year. And that's just because I got a busy life. And it might be my team that I'm watching. But really with fantasy, I normally just watch the websites where you get your stats at. So, so when you're looking on waiver wires and stuff like that, you can just look at the websites for how many carries did this running back get, how many targets this running back or wide receiver get, how many points they clearly got and stuff like that, how many minutes did they play, that, and you can just get that off websites. So if they get too woke, the NFL, and people still want to carry on with fantasy, I could still see the ratings sucking for NFL, but fantasy's still doing well. I seen the FanDuel, I think it was FanDuel, I seen their stock dropped big time. Which it makes sense. It makes sense. Nobody's watching. Nobody's betting. Guys, Bustin' Balls Podcast on Instagram. Eric Pennell Comedy on Instagram. I'm Eric Pennell Comedy on TikTok. Please find me. If you like the podcast, please share it. It helps get the word around. It helps put it in the way of somebody else. If you don't like the podcast, you can go beat it, kick rocks. I don't care. Let's have a good week, and let's kick some ass and get your game up. OW20 is my squirt. Thanks for listening.